High school basketball is back on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Tonight from Royerton, Indiana, the regular season finale as the Muncie Burris Owls take on the unbeaten Delta Eagles. Good evening and hi again, everyone. Brian Beaver along with you again tonight. We hit the final Friday of the 2018-19 regular season. This could be Delta's big night. The Eagles are number one in the 3A poll again this week, 22-0. They've never had a regular season finish without a loss in Delta history. They're trying to do it for the first time ever tonight. They'll have to knock off the pesky Owls to get it done. Last night, Burris dropped a 88-69 decision to Blackford and Luke Brown on their senior night, Burris's. And we'll see what happens here tonight. I was just telling a fan that third quarter last night, Burris was within 7 points of Blackford before the Bruins pulled away to win that one by 19. But this is not a horrible Owls team. They have some talent, starting with Jackson Adamowitz, who went for a career-best 31 points in that loss last night. And they can stick with you for a while. If you let them hang around, they can cause you a few problems. Players like Grant Jones and Bracken Carnes can also get the job done for Joe Anderson's Owls. Delta has had a phenomenal year. It's been well chronicled. They've run through the season without a blemish. They won the Hoosier Heritage Conference Championship outright at 7-0. It's the first time they've ever been 7-0. They had been 6-0 at one point way back in 98. And they've also won the county tournament this year. So when you check off your goals in the locker room on the chalkboard, I got to believe that win county is one, win conference is one, win sectional is probably another, and they'll have a chance to try to do that next week in a tough 3A sectional in the Newcastle Fieldhouse. But tonight, this is the one that matters. Yeah, little one-game seasons, and Mark Detweiler has done a fantastic job keeping his kids focused on the big prize and their goals, and they haven't let anyone bring them down just yet. They've had a couple of close games, the 4-point victory over Pendleton Heights and a couple of 6-point wins over Connorsville opening night and over Newcastle right here a couple weeks ago. But this is a darn good basketball team, and as units go, functioning units, a piece of machinery that all fits together and works without a problem, this is the kind of team Delta has become in 2018-19. They are terrific at what they do. The teams are on the floor warming up. The crowd here is going to be fairly sizable again tonight across the way. Here on the near side of the gymnasium where they set the media guys up, not quite as full. But on the home side, it's going to be a pretty good crowd for another nice night of Delta basketball as they set their sights on their ultimate goal, and that has to be 30-0 state champions. They're good enough to do it, in my opinion. Long, tough road lies ahead, but it all starts with getting another dub in this game here tonight. A lot of other games going on around the area this evening. Muncie Central is at Newcastle tonight. That should be an interesting game. Muncie Central, a game over 500 at 11-10, and Newcastle at 12-9. But man, talk about athleticism. Muncie Central has it, and a lot of it. And talk about talent. Newcastle has a lot of it. Even with Mason Gillis out, Luke Bumbalo and company have had a terrific second half of their season. And they are definitely not to be slept on in next week's sectional. You talk about that tournament next week down in Newcastle. Delta will open with a game against Yorktown, and the winner of that will face Blackford in the semifinals. And Burris will take on Hamilton Heights, also in that field. So you've got two potential sectional foes hooking it up here tonight. And we'll have to see how all the rest of it transpires between now and a week from tomorrow. The championship games will be a Saturday from tomorrow, first Saturday in March. So it's a great night for basketball. We're grateful to have you along for the ride here on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. We know you've got a choice, and we appreciate your continued support of our coverage of high school sports. We have not made any final decisions yet about our sectional coverage next week. We most likely will do one of two things: bring you the championship game from the Newcastle 3A sectional, or the championship game from the 1A Westdell sectional. Both of those are under consideration. I'll let you know about those plans, as I always do, on Twitter on my timeline. If you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, get on the freight train. It's easy, it's free, and a lot of information there for you as a fan. My handle is at Delco Preps. And while you're here tonight on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscription, follow our action on YouTube on the Delco Preps channel. We're going to take our first time out. When we come back, we'll talk more about this matchup on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. You stay right there.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Who do I swim for? I swim on my high school team for my mom, who gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to take me to practice.
I swim for hugs from my teammates, spaghetti dinners, and my lucky neon green goggles.
I swim for Coach Murray, who pushes me to dig deep and finish strong.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 152,000 here in Indiana. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline, skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens.
Most of all, I swim for myself, because I learn more about who I am and who I want to be every time I dive into the pool. That's who I swim for.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Delta High School. We're just a few minutes away from getting this one started tonight. Muncie Burris comes in at 5-16 overall for Joe Anderson, who's now in his 5th year. Burris coming off a loss last night to Blackford. They're scoring 58.2 a game and giving up 65.7. Delta Number 1 in the 3A media poll again this week. 22-0 for Mark Detweiler in his second year, scoring 67.4, giving up 44.5, still in the top 5 in the state in any class in margin, in their differential. They're beating people by a lot of times. Burris and Delta both have come back on the floor. We're just about set to go. You look at Burris's numbers, and really where they struggle more than anything is shooting. They're only hitting 35% of their field goals for the season, 26% from three-point range, and only 60% at the line as a team. They really struggle to shoot the ball well. Delta, on the other hand, 50% as a team for the year, 37% as a team from the arc, 73% as a team from the charity stripe. So a big difference in statistical output in terms of shooting the basketball, which after all is still the most important thing in the game. It's called basketball for a reason. You get buckets, baskets, you have a pretty good chance of winning a basketball game. Burris will wear their bright blue road uniforms tonight with gold lettering and white trim and owl wing trim on the shorts, on the sides, on the pant legs. Delta will be in their home whites again with gold lettering and navy blue trim. Teams are going to the benches now. We're just a short time away from the introduction of the starting lineups and the opening tip-off of this game here on Senior Night 2019 for Delta. It's a night where Delta says a farewell of sorts to their 5 seniors. Mark Detweiler will start all 5 of them tonight in this contest. Not sure how long he'll go with all 5 seniors. A couple of them don't play very meaningful minutes for the season, but he'll ride them for a while and let them go out there and take a nice hand from the crowd and get some appreciation from the fans here at home. Next week, huge. Hoosier hysteria. Everybody looks forward to the state tournament. 400 teams exactly this year in 4 classes, trying to crown 4 champions in about a month down at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. It's always an exciting time of year. There you hear the buzzer. They'll clear the clock. We'll join the introductions of the teams and the national anthem down at courtside. There you have them. We're about set to go. If you couldn't quite make it out, it's going to be Bracken Carnes, Jackson Adamowitz, Colton Fisher, Grant Jones, and Jalen Kring, the starting five for Burris. Wesley Wooden, Josh Bryan, Tyler Wilburn, Dalen Case, and Nate Sutherland, all five seniors getting a start tonight for Mark Detweiler's Eagles. We're about set to go. It's Jones and Sutherland in the center circle to toss the tip, and it's controlled in the forecourt by Wilburn of Delta. Here come the Eagles with the first attack of the night. Sutherland on the wing, kills his dribble out on top to Bryan. Man-to-man matchup. A little bit of a matchup. Looks like a 3-2 zone. Here to start for Burris on defense. Bryan at the free throw line. Sutherland has it on the wing, drives baseline, fakes, fires, traveled. First turnover of the night belongs to Delta. Burris now with their first chance at a bucket. Adamowitz in the forecourt here on the near end at the volleyball line, guarded man-to-man by Nate Sutherland. Gets a screen. Adamowitz will take it toward the free throw line. Now back it out near the center circle. Works it right side. That's Colton Fisher. Way out near the D logo at midcourt. Now Adamowitz, top of the key. Thinks about it. Fires. Got it. It's a long two-pointer for Jackson Adamowitz, and Burris is out in front 2-0 in the early going. Full court pressure being applied by the Owls. Eagles break the press easily. Here's Wilburn giving to the wing. Bryan three-pointer, no good. Kring gets the rebound for Muncie Burris. Owls will bring it across the timeline. Adamowitz handling. Now on the wing to Bracken Carnes. Carnes to the top of the key. Behind a screen for a three, no good. Off glass and iron. Rebound comes down to Delta. Give the board to Dalen Case. Eagles haven't scored yet. Bryan has it out between the rings. Now goes one dribble, feed underneath to Sutherland. Now another pass back out on top to Bryan. He uncorks a three and buries it. Josh Bryan gives Delta a 3-2 lead with 6:10 to go here in the first quarter. Bracken Carnes looking for a chance to cut and get a pass. Can't do it. Now it's a baseline drive by Jones. His shot is blocked by Wesley Wooden. Wes has it. Long lead pass into the forecourt to Brian. Brian gets on the wing. Couple of dribbles and a jab step toward the paint, and we've got a whistle and a held ball. The jump ball call, and it looks like Burris is going to get it on the dual possession arrow. It is Owls ball. They'll bring it 84 feet, leading, or rather trailing, 3-2. Adamowitz brings it into the forecourt. Carnes now has it out on top, works to the wing. Kring has it. Back in the corner. Carnes uncorks the three. High rebound, comes off the miss to Brian. He'll bring it into the forecourt. Now they work it in the corner. Here's a baseline move, a pass back out on top. Brian all alone. Three-pointer rattles out, no good. Rebound on the floor, picked up by Burris. Here come the Owls, trailing by a point with 5:15 to go in the first period. Adamowitz with the ball. Josh Bryan guarding him closely. He'll drive it to the paint. Works it back out on top. Fisher has it. Long two, no good. Rebound by Kring. He goes to the floor. We've got a whistle and a foul, a common foul against Delta. Believe it's going to be Dalen Case. It is. And you hear the hand as several seniors check out. Wes Wooden, Nate Sutherland, Dalen Case check out. Eagles have Brian, Greenberg, Hunt, Wilburn, and Garner in the game now. Burris on the miss. Here comes Delta. Hunt out on top, works on the wing far side. Brian feeds underneath. Fake, pass to the corner. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Follow-up good by Greenberg. Wilburn with the miss. Greenberg to clean it up. His first two of the night to make it a 5-2 game. And here's a whistle in the forecourt. It's going to be a common foul on Delta. Looks like Greenberg. Personal foul on Greenberg. First one on him, and Burris inbounds in the forecourt from the far sideline. Carnes has it in the corner, guarded by Greenberg. Feed underneath. Kring can't get the bunny. Rebound comes down to Hunt. Brady looks down the floor, brings it across the timeline, handles it like a guard at 6'5". On the wing, Brian works out, now inside now, feed to the corner. Brian, three-pointer, no good. Rebound inside by Delta. Garner has the board. They'll recycle the possession. Greenberg out on top. Skip pass to the corner to Brian. Now out on top, Wilburn feeds underneath the Hunt. He fires and hits. Hunt with his first bucket of the game. And it's a 7-2 lead for Delta with 3:55 to go in the opening quarter. Kring with it for the Owls. Out on top, now gets it back, takes it baseline, has it knocked out of his hands, and it's going to be a turnover out of bounds off of Burris. Burris will bring in a sub. It's James Roysden checking into the game. He is a 6'5" bundle of rebounding energy. Burris, full court pressure. Delta breaks it easily. Brian thought about a three from the deep corner. Instead, he feeds underneath. Reverse lay-in good by Zach Garner. Zach with his first bucket. We've got a whistle and a timeout on the floor. It's going to be a 30. As Joe Anderson says, give me a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. 3:33 to go in the first quarter. Burris led 2-0. Delta took the lead on a triple at 3-2, and they've had it ever since, now at 9-2. Wow. Nice ball movement by Delta. You would expect that. They're among the leaders in the state in 3A in assists per game and also in steals per game. They're very efficient, really good at what they do on the Delta side of the court. So just that fast, the starters come in and play reserve roles tonight. Garner, Greenberg, and Hunt have all come in and scored since joining the battle. We're back underway. Burris brings it into the forecourt. Adamowitz handling. Now dribbles to the wing. Feeds on top to Carnes behind a screen. Three-pointer won't go. Long rebound comes down. A one-hopper to Zach Garner. He feeds ahead to Brian. Brian gets to Garner on top. Zach says, come get it. And Brian gives it right back to him. Greenberg on the wing. Now Wilburn in the corner. Garner on top. Good ball movement around the arc by Delta. Burris packing it back in a zone. Skip pass out on top, now to the corner. Bryan for three, good. Josh Bryan, 6 points, pair of trays to make it 12-2. And on the other end, Burris can't get the shot off the hands of Colton Fisher. Here comes Delta in a hurry. Attacking again. Greenberg drives, works to the wing. Uncontested three is good. Wilburn buries the triple over Royston. And it's 15-2. This is a 15-0 run by Delta. A miss by Burris. Long lead pass ahead. Wilburn lays it in. Wilburn with his 5th point, and it's a 17-0 run and a 17-2 Delta lead with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bracken Carnes with the ball for Burris. He'll drive, fire on the run from about 12 feet. Little teardrop goes down for him. Nice hoop that time. Make it a 17-4 game. Carnes is a good-looking little player. Delta attacking. Lob pass, look out. Should have been a jam. Hunt couldn't get it under control. He just lays it in off the glass. Hunt with his 4th point to make it 19-4. With a minute and a half to go, Royston pulls up from the free throw line. His left-handed jumper won't go. Delta with a quick rebound and a fast break. Now they'll slow it down. Garner drives baseline, feeds back. Hunt jab step, drives inside, fires on the run off the glass. No. Rebound by James Royston of Muncie Burris. Here come the Owls, trailing by 15. Backcourt pressure now being applied by Delta. Adamowicz at the free throw line, driving, shooting, can't get it. Rebound comes to Hunt. Long pass ahead. Wilburn all by himself. He'll drive, has his shot blocked. He'll go to the free throw line on a foul by Bracken Carnes. Going to be a 2-shot trip for Delta. Give the free throws to Tyler Wilburn. Second team foul, or rather the first team foul against Burris as Wilburn nails the first free throw. He's got 6 points. He'll shoot another one. It's 20-4 now. Checking in for Delta is Sam Cox. So 9 Eagles have already played. Free throw good again. Wilburn with 7 points in the first period, and he's given his team a 21-4 lead. Under a minute to play. Burris may play for the final shot. Adamowicz way out on top near the volleyball attack line. Guarded by Garner. Bounce pass out on top. Carnes will drive the lane. Tries to feed and up it off. It's out of bounds as Jones tried to save an errant pass back in and hit the backboard and went out of bounds. Second turnover by Burris. And with 37 seconds left in the period, Delta most likely will play for the final shot. They'll spread the floor and give it way out on top to Bryan as he works on Jones man-to-man. Hunt with it now, guarded by Royston. Low post feed to Bryan. He'll shoot a turnaround 16-footer. He buries it. 8 points for him, 23-4. Here comes Burris. They've got 15 seconds to do something with it. Royston has it knocked out of his hands. It goes out of bounds right at the Delta bench. And with 10.2 to go, Burris will inbound. Comes into Adamowicz, gets the screen from Jones, looks to feed down low. He gets it to Royston. Out here near the arc. Clock down to 2. Down to 1. He's got to hurry. He's not going to get a shot off. Good defense by Delta, and that does it here in the first quarter. We've played 8 minutes here in Royerton. At the first stop, the score, Delta 23, Muncie Burris 4. Back with more after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, the opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. We move to the second quarter. A quick look at first quarter scoring. Delta gets 8 from Josh Bryan, 7 from Tyler Wilburn. The leaders for Burris, two apiece for Branken Carnes and Jackson Adamowitz. 23-4 the game as we get second quarter action underway. Delta with the ball and a big lead. They've got it out on top with Wilburn. He'll drive the paint. Fire blocked away on a nice play by Jones. Now a garbage pickup bucket. As the ball came loose, Bedwell picked it up and put it in the hole for his first two. A drive on the other end by Carnes for a bucket for his fourth to make it 25-6. 4 points in the game for Carnes. Here's a drive by Garner. He'll feed off the Bedwell now outside for a three. Off the hands of Wilburn, and he nails another one. Tyler Wilburn with 10 points to make it 28-6 Delta. Delta had a 17-point run in the first quarter to break this wide open. Burris nearly threw it away. Carnes saved it nicely out near the timeline. Man-to-man defensively for Delta. Adamowitz driving on Garner, pulls up, fires the two-pointer, can't get it. Garner with the board. Brings it down the middle of the floor quickly. Works it on the wing to Cox. Cox takes it in the trees. Back outside now, a skip pass near side to Bedwell. He'll drive in the paint. Get back out on top. Now they swing it far side. Runner is up and good. Give the bucket to Cox. Sam has his first two, and the score balloons to 30-6. Delta, early second quarter. Here's Halley in the game for Burris. Works it on the wing to Adamowitz. Adamowitz behind a pick from Kring. He's going to drive it to the paint. Now gives off to the corner. Now they work it out on the wing to Carnes. Carnes will take it out near the arc. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Wilburn with the rebound for Delta. He'll bring it all the way. He's going all the way to the hole. Now he feeds off instead of shooting. And we've got a whistle and a foul under the Delta basket. It's going to be on Burris. I believe it's going to be on 25, and if it is, that's Halley. They haven't announced it yet. We're going to give it to 24, Jalen Kring. His first, second on the team. Baseline inbound play for the Eagles in the forecourt. They go back to work offensively. Here's Cox with it. Works it cross court to Case. Case bounce pass for Cox now in the corner. Bunch of seniors are back on the floor. Nate Sutherland has the ball. Case with it now. Cox with it here on the near wing. He'll drive to the free throw line. Top of the key and back out to Case on the arc. Bounce pass, high post. Here's Wes Wooden driving. Fakes three men up. Can't get the shot to go. Rebound comes down to Wooden. He feeds outside. Case is going to drive it inside. He forces one up. It won't go down. Rebound is stolen away. And now here's a three. Boom! Wes Wooden says, have some more of that. His first bucket, a triple, and it's 33-6. Wow. When it rains, it pours. Fans are chanting Wesley Wooden's name. We've got a foul on the floor. It's going to be against Delta. It's a common foul. Connor Bedwell checking out. He picked up the foul. Burris has it back in play. Corner three won't fall for Carnes. Bryan with the rebound for Delta. He's an excellent rebounder for a guard. He's 6'3". Feeds underneath the Wooden. Beautiful pass. Fakes, fires, hits. Beautiful. Well done. Another two. Goes on the board. Delta's lead is 35-6. Wow. Here's a long two up and no good by Halley. Kring gets the offensive board. Has his shot blocked by Bryan. He'll fire again. No. Royston with the rebound. 4 chances Burris cashes it in. Royston has the bucket. His first two. That breaks a long drought at 35-8 now. Burris out in front midway second quarter. Been a blowout here so far. Eagles working consistently. A lot of clock here. Sam Cox feeds on the near wing to Wes Wooden behind his screen. Feeds it back out to Bryan, who will fire a three and nail it. Josh Bryan, 11 points in the game to make it 38-8 Delta. Here's a spin move for Burris in the paint. Jones forced it up, partially blocked. Rebound comes to Sutherland of Delta. He'll bring it across the timeline. They swing it down in the corner to Wes Wooden. On the wing to Bryan. He thought about a long three. Feeds to the cutter instead. Here's a shot in the paint blocked, but it's going to be a foul on a drive inside by Dalen Case. Going to be Royston with the foul. Wow. Two-shot trip to the line for Dalen Case, one of the seniors being honored here tonight. He missed the first one. He'll get another. Royston checking out for Burris. Taking his place is Colton Fisher. Another free throw coming for Dalen Case. Right-hander wears jersey number 13. He fires and he hits. He'll come out of the game. Case take a rest, gets a nice hand. It's a 39-8 game. And forever in the scorebook, Case on senior night with at least 1 point. Here's a high-low feed to Kring inside. He fakes, fires, can't get the layup. Rebound comes down to Josh Bryan. Delta will bring it down the floor, leading by 31 with 3:10 to go before halftime. Wes Wooden feeds underneath. Man wide open. Sutherland had his shot blocked by Fisher. Nice defensive play by the Owls. Carnes will step back for a three-pointer and nail it. Bracken Carnes, Splash City, his 7th point. Makes it 39-11. Delta back to work on a pretty baseline feed and a lay-in by Wesley Wooden. He's got 7 in the game, and it's 41-11 Delta. Back to work go the Owls. Baseline jumper along two, good. Bracken Carnes is putting on a show. He's got 9 points, 9 of their 13. 41-13 with 2:28 to go, second period. Bryan uncorks at 3. Kaboom! Another triple for Josh Bryan. 44-13 is the lead now for Delta with 2:15 to go before halftime. Here's a pretty baseline drive and a lay-in by Halley. He beat Wooden on the drive and cashed in the 2. It's a 44-15 game. Here's Bryan inside the arc. Feeds baseline to Sutherland. He's double teamed. Now he needs help. He's going to fire anyway. No good. Rebound Burris. And a foul on the scrum for the rebound. It looks like Josh Greenberg got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Second foul on Josh Greenberg. Carnes and Kring check out for Burris. Wesley Wooden and Greenberg check out for Delta. Under 2 minutes to go before halftime in a fast-paced, quickly played, few fouls called game. Here's a nice drive to the hoop and a lay-in. Beautifully done by Grant Jones. I'm impressed with him. He's going to be a player in the next couple of years. It's 44-17. He's got a bright future. Bryan for 3. In and out, no good. Rebound in the hands of Hunt temporarily, but it's knocked loose. Here comes Burris, trailing by a bunch. 27 to be exact, with 1:20 to go, second quarter. Adamowicz out on top, working on Garner. He'll drive him, goes to the baseline, fires the runner off the glass that won't go down. Here's a long lead pass ahead to Bryan. Gets it to Wilburn out on top. Wilburn works it on the wing near side. Bedwell will drive his man, takes him inside with a spin move. He's in trouble in the paint. He's got a fire, and he does, and he hits. That's all you can do there. Boy, a 3-second call, and you come away with a 46-17 lead on the other end. Pull away jumper. Nice hit by Adamowicz for his 5th point. 46-19 in the final 40 seconds of the second quarter. Delta with a huge lead and the ball. Let's see if they play the clock down to the buzzer and take the final shot of period number 2. Zach Garner has it way out near the timeline. Cross-court pass to Bedwell with 25 on the game clock. Fisher will come out to guard him. Bedwell dribbles, gets off to Garner, out on top, right in the middle of the floor. Clock down to 15. Garner bounce pass on the high post. Now feet underneath the low post action. Turnaround jumper, 8-footer good by Hunt for his 6th point. Quickly down the other way, 2-1. We've got a whistle and a double dribble violation by Burris. It stops the clock with 0.6 of a second to go. Delta will inbound. Far sideline about 50 feet from the basket. Time to catch and fire. Long pass, it's a lob. Hunt can't get his hands on it. It's knocked away by Halley, and that'll bring an end to the first half. Spectacular performance so far by the number 1 team in 3A basketball. We've reached halftime at intermission. It's Delta 48, Muncie Burris 19. Back with a halftime show after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Who do I swim for? I swim on my high school team for my mom, who gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to take me to practice.
I swim for hugs from my teammates, spaghetti dinners, and my lucky neon green goggles.
I swim for Coach Murray, who pushes me to dig deep and finish strong.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 152,000 here in Indiana. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline. Skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens.
Most of all, I swim for myself, because I learn more about who I am and who I want to be every time I dive into the pool. That's who I swim for.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In Fort Wayne, 2 sisters make a historic splash when they swim their way to a pair of individual state titles.
In Evansville, a boys and girls soccer team becomes state champions in the same year for the same school, claiming their place in Indiana history.
In Bloomington, 12 young men combine their talents, check their egos, and net a basketball state title.
High school sports have provided us with as many inspirational stories as there are towns in Indiana.
In Valparaiso, a gymnastics team scores a perfect season, winning a record 7th state championship for their school in the process.
A football team south of Indianapolis refuses to lose, comes from behind, and runs away with an improbable state title.
What will the story be in your community? High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in this community.
Who do I play high school softball for? I play for my mom and dad who've never missed a game.
Whether they're playing for their teammates, their classmates, or their community, high school student athletes in Indiana learn important lessons they'll use for the rest of their lives. like respect for the rules and the value of hard work and sacrifice. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. A crisp October evening, a stadium filled with fans, a pass through, a journey completed. State of euphoria? No, the state of Indiana. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community. The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
We're at halftime at Delta High School on senior night for the Eagles, and it's blowout city at halftime as Delta leads Muncie Burris 48-19. It was a 23-4 game at the end of one. Delta outscored Burris 25-15 in the second period to take that commanding 48-19 lead to the locker room. Delta started its 5 seniors on senior night. A couple of them have gotten more playing time and more shots and points than they have at any other point this year. And they've done some nice things on the court for their head coach, Mark Detweiler. We'll take one quick break, come back, give you the unofficial halftime numbers in terms of scoring, etc. right after this on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who play high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the halftime show. Let's go over first half scoring unofficially for Delta as they lead at 48-19. We'll go right down the sheet. Wesley Wooden with a start and 7 first half points. Josh Bryan with a start and 14 first half points, including 4 triples. Tyler Wilburn with a start and 10 first half points, including 2 triples. Dalen Case with a rare start for him. 1 out of 2 on free throws for a point. And Nate Sutherland got the other start for Delta. Played a lot but did not score. Off the bench, Zach Garner with 2. Josh Greenberg with 2. Brady Hunt with 6. Sam Cox with 2. Connor Bedwell with 4. For Muncie Burris, Bracken Carnes, 9 points. Jackson Adamowitz, 4. Colton Fisher, no points in the first half for him. That's a trouble sign for Burris. They need him to score a little. Grant Jones, a bucket for 2 points. Jalen Kring hasn't scored. James Royston with 2 off the bench. Alex Halley with 2 off the bench unofficially. So, you look at the foul situation, no one's really in any trouble. Josh Greenberg has 2 fouls for Delta. And you look down at the rest of the sheet, no one else really in any trouble. Very few fouls called in the game. That's a good thing. In a game like this, you just want to get this one over, put it in the book, and go home. Delta is 16 minutes away from finishing off a perfect regular season. It's going to be a matter of what will the final score be as they lead it here at halftime, 48-19. Teams have returned to the floor. They're warming up for the second half. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, the opening play of the third quarter, it's coming up next on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. the state of Indiana. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community. The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
You hear in the background, "Hey Baby." Every band in the country has played that at some point. It's a good sign that young people are still playing that song and actually know the words. They're probably Googling it on their smartphones, if I know that. We're about set for the second half to begin. The teams have come to their benches. In fact, Delta has sent its 5 to the floor already. In a game they lead 48-19. It's been about a generation since Delta scored 100 points in a game. Really rare out here, but they've got a chance to do it tonight with 48 at halftime. Delta will open things here in the third quarter with Bryan, Garner, Hunt, Wilburn, and Greenberg, their normal starting 5. We'll flip the floor. Burris will go left to right here in the second half. They inbound it, and we're underway. Burris on the attack. Man-to-man defense by Delta. On the wing, Fisher. Needs a bucket in the worst way. Works it out on top to Halley. Now on the wing to Jones, who will drive his man to the paint, spin, fire. Got a tough bucket over Hunt. I told you this kid can play. He's going to be something in the next couple of years. It's 48-21. Delta with its first possession of the second half. They'll give it to Garner here on the wing right beneath us. Low post pass. Goes inside to Hunt. He gives off inside. Fake fire. Hit by Wilburn. Wilburn with a dozen to make it 50-21. Delta out in front. Bracken Carnes working on Josh Greenberg. Now Halley guarded by Bryan. Jones tries to pass down low, throws it away. Here comes a fast break opportunity for Delta. Up off the glass, no good by Wilburn, but he's fouled. Gets mugged, and he'll go to the strike. Grant Jones picks up the personal foul for Burris, and going to the line, Tyler Wilburn, and he misses the first of 2. He'll try it again. Wilburn is a 69% free throw shooter for the season, and that number's going to have to go up in the state tournament. He gets the second of 2 for his 13th point. 3 out of 4 from the line for him tonight. 51-21, it's a 30-point bulge. Carnes uncorks a long 3 for Delta, or rather for Burris, and it's an air ball. Long lead pass to Greenberg. He's all by himself. He throws it off the glass. Hunt tried to jam it on the go get it, and it didn't work, but Hunt got the rebound. The fans kind of held their breath there. Wow. Wilburn here in the corner. He'll drive it baseline, tries to feed Bryan, nearly throws it away. Now a whistle, and I think it's going to be a foul on a push by Bracken Carnes on the loose ball. It is on Carnes. His second personal. Baseline inbound play coming for the Eagles, right where the key joins the baseline. It comes into Bryan. Long 2, got it. Just inside the arc. Bryan, 16 points to make it 53-21. On the other end, Halley fires a 3 and nails it. Alex Halley, he has 5 in the game. It's 53-24. Owls defending here. Here's a move inside by Hunt. He fires a little one on the run. Can't get it. Got his own board, and he's fouled. Going up for the stick back. Bracken Carnes picks up the personal foul, and just that fast, he's in trouble. 2 quick fouls, he has 3. At the line is Hunt, and he hits the first of 2. 7th point of the game for Brady Hunt. He'll shoot another one. Burris will sub. They'll bring Carnes out. They'll send Michael Boylan back in. Hunt waiting for his second free throw. It's on the way, and it's money. Hunt with 8 points, 2 out of 2 at the stripe, 55-24. Had a nice chat with his mom briefly earlier. Here's Jones driving inside, fires up the glass, no. Rebound tip, no. Hunt with the rebound. Here comes Delta in a hurry. In the wing area now, in the corner, it's Bryan. Lost the handle, skip past to Greenberg. Now near corner to Garner. Garner will drive the paint, works it outside. Three-pointer up, three-pointer off the rim. No good, but Garner gets the board. Now it's in the near corner. Wilburn for 3. No good. Long rebound to Fisher of Burris. He'll work it down the floor quickly to Halley. Halley fakes up and under. Can't get it to go, and the ball gets stuck between the glass and the rim. That'll be a turnover, and it'll go to Delta. When I tell people, go to a game if for no other reason than that you might see something that has never happened in your presence before, it just happened again. You don't see that very often at all. 5 minutes to go, third quarter, a 55-24 lead for Delta. They've got the ball here in the near forecourt. Wilburn outside the arc, cross-court pass to Bryan, guarded by Halley. One dribble on the wing to Hunt. Hunt takes it in the paint, kicks it back out on top to Bryan. Still with the dribble. Now far side wing to Wilburn. Out to Greenberg. He'll drive his man into the paint. Pull up, fire from a little 6-footer and gets the roll. Josh Greenberg. Nice hoop. 4 for him. 57-24. Delta with a monstrous lead. 33 points. Midway, second quarter, 4:20 to go. Make it third quarter. And here's the pass low post and a spin move inside by Jones, but his shot won't fall. Hunt brings down another rebound, and he'll bring it down the floor with his own dribble across the timeline. Greenberg has it from him out near the big Deglow. Low go at midcourt. Bryan with it now. Picks up his dribble. Works it far corner to Greenberg. He'll drive it in the trees. Has it here in the corner to Hunt on the wing to Bryan. Bryan thought about uncorking a 3. Thought better of it. Got it off to Wilburn instead. Now high post to Hunt. Drives inside. Fires. Blocked by Jones. Hunt in a heap on the floor. We've got a whistle and a foul. Looks like it's just going to be out of bounds and not a foul. It must have touched Hunt going down. So Burris has the ball on the attack in the forecourt. Halley will drive baseline. Has his shot blocked by Bryan. Long lead pass. Bedwell going for the touchdown. Can't lay it in. Gets hit from behind and hammered on the foul. He'll go to the stripe for a couple of hard-earned free throws. I think that's going to be on Jackson Adamowitz. It is on Jackson. His first foul, 4th on the team. Connor Bedwell will move to the free throw line for a pair of charity tosses. The right-hander thinks about it, fires it, hits. Give him 5 in the game. He'll have another. 58-24. Bedwell is one of those guys who wears the long sleeve undershirt. He fires the next one. It's short off the front iron. No good. Rebound comes down to Burris. Here come the Owls. They turn it over as Fisher dribbled it off his body out of bounds. Unofficially, 7th turnover of the game against Burris. Only 1 turnover tonight on my sheet. So far unofficially for Delta. Eagles back to work, leading 58-24 with 3:20 to go, third quarter. Here's a low post feed to Bryan. He'll turn and lay it up, but it won't go in. Burris with the board. Here they come with Jackson handling. Between the legs dribble. Gets off to Fisher. Top of the key three-pointer. Too strong. Wooden with the board for Delta. Here comes Bedwell. Gets it back from Wilburn. Takes it inside. Turns it up and fires and hits. A nice hoop by Bedwell for his 7th point to make it a 60-24 contest. Burris in big trouble. They're going home unhappy tonight against the number 1 team in 3A. Fisher feeds low post to Adamowitz. turnaround shot, and he nailed it over Sam Cox. Wow. Little Steph Curry action there to make it 60-26. Here comes Delta on the attack. Wilburn outside the arc, feed underneath. Nice cutter laid in. The feed from Wilburn, the layup good by Cox on a beautiful cut and pass. 62-26. Adamowicz on the other end can't buy the three. The rebound to Wilburn. He'll bring it all the way down the court. Still has it. Driving to the paint. Faking, firing, hitting. Tyler Wilburn with his 15th point. We've got a timeout on the floor. 2:04 left in the third quarter. It's all but over already. It's Delta 64, Burris 26 on the Delco Preps channel.
The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Welcome back to the ball game. 2:04 left in the third quarter. Delta 64, Muncie Burris 26. Owls will bring it the full 84 feet left to right across your screen in your imagination as they work their offensive set with under 2 minutes to go. Here's a runner off the back iron, no good by Carnes. Connor Bedwell with the board, feeds ahead to Wes Wooden. Wooden, not a Wilburn, all by himself. A set shot three, won't go. It was too easy. The rebound to Colton Fisher of Burris, and he gets fouled in the process. Connor Bedwell will pick up the personal foul. That's 2 on him. You hear the hand for Tyler Wilburn as he checks out with 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Adamowicz with the ball for the Owls. He'll drive to the paint, gets bumped. That's a common foul out on the floor before he could take a shot. Looks like Bedwell will pick up another quick foul, and it is on Connor Bedwell. 3 on him. 2 fouls by Delta, 4 by Burris here in the second half. Neither team in any danger there yet. Halley with the ball, drives inside the arc, now feeds back outside on the wing to Fisher. Here's a baseline drive by Jones. Fakes, fires, hits. Bedwell couldn't play him tough. He had to let him go, and he hits the shot. Jones with his 6th point in the game. 64-28 is the Delta lead with 1:09 to go in the third quarter. Bedwell feeds the cutter. Nicely done. Laid in by Wes Wooden. Wes with his 9th point to make it 66-28. Final 50 seconds of the period. Burris attacking. Man-to-man defensively by Delta here in the late third. Here's Jones, free for an 18-footer on the baseline. Off the mark. Bedwell with the board and the ball for Delta. Nearly threw it away. Good deflection that time by Colton Fisher of Burris. It's out of bounds near the scorer's table. Delta ball with 36.2 to go in the period. See if they play for a one-shot kind of scenario here with under 30 seconds to go. Cox has it now out on the point. Double teamed. Picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. There's a held ball whistle. It looks like it's going to go to Burris. So the Owls get it back here on the near sideline with 22.4 to go. Trailing 66-28. Adamowicz with the ball as he walks it slowly across the timeline. Let's see if they leave it in his hands. Adamowicz will take it to the near wing. Clock down to 10. Feeds underneath. Throws it away. Trying to hit Jones. It's out of bounds for a Burris turnover. Not what you wanted. 8 seconds on the nose to go. So Delta will have a chance to bring it 84 feet. Here they come quickly. Bedwell across the timeline to the wing. Clock down to 4. Drives baseline. Feeds onside. Shot up by Wooden. No good. The follow won't go before the buzzer, and that'll do it here in the third quarter. We've reached the third stop. It's Blowout City here in Royerton tonight after 3 quarters of play. It's Delta 66, Muncie, Burris 28. Back with the fourth quarter after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Brian Beaver back with you from Delta High School. We go to the fourth quarter with Delta leading 38-point lead, 66-28. Coming into this game, Delta had 37 quarters this year defensively where they held the opponent under 10. They've had 2 more of them here in this game tonight. They've held Burris to just 4 in the first quarter and only 9 in the third quarter. Lockdown defense, they are very good at it. Start the fourth period with Delta holding the ball. Garner gives off now to Greenberg. Greenberg fixes it out to the wing. Case will drive inside. Cut off, needs help. He's going to force up a 10-footer, and he gets the shooter's roll. Galen Case with his 4th point. And it's 68-28, a 40-point game. On the other end, Adamowicz out of the top of the key. Needs help. Gets it out here on the wing to Halley. Halley, a couple left-hand dribbles, now gives way to Adamowicz, and now in the corner to Jones. Jones out on top to Halley, guarded by Bedwell. Halley will drive him down the paint. Looks to the corner now, shot up for 3, and it's good on the wing. Give the bucket to Max Davis. Wow. The reserve comes in and hits a tray to make it 68-31. Here's a drive and a beautiful lay-in by Bedwell. Bedwell with his 9th point. It's a 70-31 game with 6:45 to go in the contest. Adamowicz driving the paint. Tough shot, hits it from about 10 feet over. Good defense from Garner. 9th point of the night for Adamowicz. Here's a feed underneath to Garner. Now Greenberg has it. Way out on top to Bedwell. Near wing Greenberg directing some traffic, says, come give me a screen. Case will set the pick, now gets the pass from Greenberg. Greenberg far side to Hunt on the wing. He'll drive it, takes it inside, fakes, spins, fires, hits. Brady Hunt doing a nice job. Hits the bunny. We got a timeout on the floor. 6:09 left in the game. It's Delta 72, Burris 33 on the Delco Preps channel.
A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
We're back underway here at Delta with just over 6 minutes left in the game. It's 72-33. Delta way out in front of an overmatched Burris squad. Jackson Adamowicz with the ball for Burris. Now out on top to Colton Fisher. On the wing, and now they swing it to the corner. Here's another 3 on the way. This one no good by Davis. Ball squirts out of bounds. On the battle for the rebound, it's going to stay with Burris. Baseline inbounds play. It's going to be Grant Jones to pass it in. It comes into Fisher. Quickly over to Adamowicz. Now on top to Jones. Jones will drive. Tough shot on the run off the glass. No. We've got a foul on the drive. It may be a common foul. Dalen Case is the offender. 2, make it 3 on him now on the board. And quickly inbounding it, Burris. Back to work offensively with Halley out on top, guarded by Sutherland. Fisher with it now as he works on the defender, Wes Wooden. Picks up his dribble out on top, needs help, gets to Hallie on the wing. Hallie, couple dribbles to the top of the key, lost the handle, got it back, kept his dribble. Takes it baseline, too much dribbling. Hallie needs to get it out, he does. Fisher, long two from the baseline, good. Colton Fisher, he's off the schneid. His first bucket of the night makes it 72-35 with 5:05 to go in the game. Josh Bryan, Case, three-pointer from the wing, no good. Adamowicz with the glass for Burris. Quick pass down the floor, three-pointer up, in and out, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds on the miss. On the miss from Hallie. Or was it Jones? It might have been Jones. Tough to tell from this far out. Josh Bryan checks out. You hear a hand for him. That might be the final time he comes out of the game. On the final game in his home gym. He gets a really nice hand from the fans in this one. He's a great player, one of the best in Delta history. Burris will inbound the ball. They throw it away. Turnover, Owls. Fast break. Wilburn goes up, lays it in. Wilburn, 17 points in the game and quickly the other way. A shot up, no good, and a foul by Delta. Free throw time for the Owls. The foul is on Dalen Case. He's got 4. 5th on the team, and then a 2-shot trip to the line for Alex Hallie. Big 25 on the back of that blue jersey. Right-hander fires, and he hits. 6th point of the game for him. You hear another nice hand. Wilburn comes out. Hugs for him on the bench. A nice ovation for him. He'll finish the night with 17 points. Terrific performance for him. Shot up, good again. 74-37 on the double hit at the line by Hallie. 7 for him on the night. 74-37. Delta has doubled up Burris. Here's a drive inside Case. Feeds Garner on the baseline. They'll work it back out on top to Case from Garner. Case is not a guard, and he's putting on a show about why, but he's going to drive inside. Goes up strong. Royston fouled him. Wow. Oh, fun at the old ballpark. Royston picks up his 2nd personal foul. And Case is going to go to the stripe. He says, hey, Beaver, shut up. I can dribble. We'll see about that, young man. Case to shoot 2. One of the 5 seniors enjoying a senior night blowout with 4:14 left in the game. Case with 4 points. Make it 3 points in the game. Shooting for his 4th. And he missed. Kiss of death from the broadcaster. I'll teach you to dribble. Another nice hand as Nate Sutherland checks out for the final time in his Delta career. He gets a nice hand. Fans here showing their appreciation. Now the official temporarily stopping action. Maybe there's a spot of blood on the floor. I think there is. There's some blood on the floor apparently in the key near where Case was shooting free throws. They're going to come out and disinfect the floor and clean it up. 4:14 to go in this one. It's all over but the final score. 74-37 Delta. Burris actually led this game 2-0. Then Delta hit a triple, and the rout was on. A 17-0 run made it a 17-2 game. And Delta has rolled from there. Staff here cleans up the blood. The officials are looking like eagle-eye hawks at the floor trying to find any more of it. They don't see any right now. Doesn't mean they won't again. And after the first free throw was missed by Case, and a little breather for him and everybody else, he's going back to the stripe for the 2nd of 2. He's 1 out of 3 tonight. Make it 2 out of 4. 4 points for him in the game. 75-37. Three-pointer on the way quickly from Fisher. He can't bury it. Ball is saved back in. Burris will keep it. Royston has it on a nice play. off the carom. Here's a drive to the paint. Carnes fires the shot. Can't get the bucket. He will get the free throws on a foul by Delta. Give the personal foul to Zach Garner. Should be his first, and it is. Bracken Carnes earned the trip to the stripe with that drive, looking for his 10th point of the game. It's on the way. It's no good. What did I tell you earlier in the night about shooting and the shooting woes that Burris has had? Well, they've come home to roost again tonight. Carnes, second shot, this one good. Bracken has a 10-point night, and it's a 75-38 game. Quickly the other way, under 4 minutes left now, as Delta plays out the rest of what's going to be a 23rd straight win in the season. They're going to finish the regular season perfect. On the low post on the baseline, Wooden feeds outside to Case, guarded by James Royston. Case is going to fire a three, can't get it off the glass. That was a meteor. Here comes Adamowicz with the board. He feeds off to Fisher. Fisher out on top beyond the arc, looking inside for a cutter, can't get anybody the ball. Gives it to Carnes. Carnes on the wing to Royston. Will he shoot from out there? He's going to lob it inside. He throws it away. Turnover, Burris. Here comes Delta. Wooden with the ball. Gives off to Case. Case underneath. Garner has it. Now in the corner to Wesley Wooden. Drives to the free throw line. Double teamed. It's knocked away, but Delta will find it. Case picked it up with a heads-up play. Eagles have it. Grady Foreman is in the game, wearing number 40. Inside to Wooden. His turnaround won't go. Adamowicz with another board for Burris. He's got to have close to 10 rebounds. Here's a three-pointer from the wing. Up, no good. Davis couldn't find the range. Delta with the rebound, and they bring it across the timeline with the final 2:30 to burn, leading 75-38. Cox taking some air out of the ball, burning some clock. Wooden is going to drive inside in traffic. Takes it up against three defenders and gets fouled. He'll shoot free throws. Good aggressive move by Wesley Wooden. Adamowicz is the fouler. Wesley Wooden will be the free throw shooter. West looking for a 10-point game if he can hit here. He misses. He'll have another. Substitutions going in for Delta. Spencer St. John is going in the game. You hear the hand as Case comes out of the game, one of the seniors. Right now, Delta has Cox, Bedwell, Spencer St. John, Grady Foreman, and the shooter, Wesley Wooden, at the line, and he buries the free throw. Wooden with his 10th point. I believe he's going to come out now and get a hand. Listen to this ovation for Wesley Wooden. (76-38) game, a double-up score with 2:20 left in regulation. Mop-up time for Burris. Bunch of reserves in the game. Fisher is going to fire from the baseline about 18 feet out. Missed it. Rebound, Eagles. Bedwell brings it all the way down. Feeds the corner. St. John thought about a three. Drives baseline. Fires up off the glass. Won't go for him. Rebound comes down for Delta. Make it to Burris. On the other end, here's a crazy running shot off the glass. No good. Fast break. St. John all by himself. He lays it in. Wow. St. John with 2 points in the game. And a quick whistle to stop the clock with 1:42 to go. So Spencer St. John is in the book forever. And with 1:42 to go in the contest, 78-38. Stolen away. Here comes Delta. Fast break, 1-on-2. Spin move inside. Shot won't go. Bedwell gets his own. Out here on the wing. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound, Delta. Foreman has it. He's going to drive baseline. Lays it up. Can't get it. Got his own rebound. Gives off inside. Now Bedwell for three. Near side. No good. Rebound inside by Foreman. He takes it up strong and hits. Grady Foreman with a pair to make it 80-38. Delta in the final 102 of regulation here. Burris going back to work on the offensive end. Here's a shot, a three-pointer, no good. It was short. Rebound comes to Foreman. Delta with less than a minute to burn in this one. They're going to win going away. Foreman has it out on top. He'll work it here to the near wing to Cox, and they're going to burn clock. Don't know if they'll even take another shot. Bedwell dribbling out on the D logo. Now to St. John here on the near wing. He's going to drive it baseline. Double team, cut off. Here's a three-pointer up. Three-pointer down! Wow! How do you like that? Don't know who that was. He's not on either roster. Wow. 83-38. Shot on the other end, no good. Clock will wind down. Final 5 seconds. Here comes the crowd. Delta has done it. A perfect regular season in 2018-19. The Eagles go to 23-0. They have a head of steam heading into the state tournament. The only thing left to do now is win a state championship and go 30-0. The final score, Delta 83, Muncie Burris 38. Back with the halftime show after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
51 seasons, our basketball team is finished undefeated. With the opportunity to unite the tie, the all-time win record for season 4. This was the middle of the year, the exceptional teams are on sale. They're going to school day on Monday and Tuesday only until noon. We're playing the second game on Tuesday evening. It's the team from the southern part of the county. At this time, I would like to present the game ball, Coach Mark Detweiler. This to be special. Like 2 years before numbers. The word that we use from the first week was together. We close our huddles to the end of every quarter, every time out. That's the word we use together. They get together with a season special together. And so obviously we're very blessed with a lot of talent. This is your class, whether we go out. I couldn't be more proud to be associated with the group of guys. I know you guys are proud of them. Left a great coaching staff, put the deal down there, and top five. We just got people in the places. Our boosters are phenomenal. Walking that senior night, tonight, my gosh, one special thing that we have in just all areas of our programs. This just is a special place. With special people, we're blessed to do what we do. With that being said, we're not done. We're still be accurate. But since 1994, we're in our line. There are 34 teams in the state of Indiana that finished the regular season undefeated in the last 25 years. There's about 400 teams in the state of Indiana. So that's about 10,000 seasons in 25 years. And 10,000 seasons, only 34 have never finished the regular season undefeated. And that's pretty special. But that wasn't one of our goals. We said that. Our goals were win a county, we did that. Win a conference, we did that. Undefeated was not one of our goals. One of our major goals starts next week. We hope to keep this going as long as we possibly can. For these guys, they deserve it. For you, we deserve it. And then, before you leave tonight, we're going to pull out a couple ladders. Okay? We got t-shirts over here that says Indiana's only undefeated regular season team for our varsity team. You guys are going to go on tonight. And we're taking these guys will be retired. We'll cut these guys down as conference champs, undefeated at home here. So these guys are going to be cutting down nets all over these cheerleaders. Make sure, again, we'll have the cheerleaders take you guys down here, cut down nets. Varsity guys down here, cut down nets. Let's go.
Well, there you heard the post-game ceremony here. Delta finishes the season, the regular season, 23-0. A special presentation to them. That was Chris Conley, the principal here, giving the game ball to the coach, Mark Detweiler, and he said a few things a moment ago about teams and goals and what they've worked for. And they've polished off a couple of big ones, but they have the biggest one left in front of them, and that's to win a 3A state championship this season. Now that you've gone 23-0, as I said before the break, the only thing to do now is to go on a 7-game run and finish it in style. It's going to be really hard. There are some great 3A teams in front of them, but you only have to beat the guy you play that day. You might not see the second or third best team in the state in the tournament. They might get beat. So you just play who you play and you beat who you beat, and you let the chips fall where they're going to go. Delta is going to cut down the nets to celebrate. They're bringing the ladders out. They're going to take down the nets in style. They have special T-shirts. The only undefeated team in Indiana in 2018-19. Gray T-shirts. They look sharp. I bet they could sell 1 million of those. But at any rate, what a night this is for Delta basketball as the team poses for photos. We're going to take a timeout. Hopefully we'll get Coach Detweiler at some point, but we'll take a break and be back with more after this on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
Who do I swim for? I swim on my high school team for my mom, who gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to take me to practice.
I swim for hugs from my teammates, spaghetti dinners, and my lucky neon green goggles.
I swim for Coach Murray, who pushes me to dig deep and finish strong.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 152,000 here in Indiana. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline. Skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens.
Most of all, I swim for myself, because I learn more about who I am and who I want to be every time I dive into the pool. That's who I swim for.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Who do I swim for? I swim on my high school team for my mom, who gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to take me to practice.
I swim for hugs from my teammates, spaghetti dinners, and my lucky neon green goggles.
I swim for Coach Murray, who pushes me to dig deep and finish strong.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 152,000 here in Indiana. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline. Skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens.
Most of all, I swim for myself, because I learn more about who I am and who I want to be every time I dive into the pool. That's who I swim for.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The world of high school sports is filled with athletes who possess the eye of the tiger and whose focus and determination enables them to soar like eagles. But the games themselves can't be played without a few zebras. Becoming an IHSAA official is a great way to be part of the action and to support Indiana's healthy tradition of high school athletics. Visit IHSAA.org and get in the game. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in your community.
You'll see adversity tackled and obstacles overcome. You'll be energized by the thrill of triumph or moved to tears by a sudden crushing defeat. You'll feel a surge of adrenaline. You'll feel like you're on top of the world. You'll experience it all as you watch the Indianapolis Colts compete for another Super Bowl title.
Sure, but you can also experience it by attending a high school sporting event in your community. Your local high school sports teams and the Indianapolis Colts really do have a lot in common. They give communities a chance to come together, to cheer for the home team. They give us a chance to be part of something truly special, but only if we give them our support. Back to you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
The IHSAA and your Indianapolis Colts, bringing communities together. The Indianapolis Colts are proud sponsors of the IHSAA State Football Tournament. A crisp October evening. A stadium filled with fans. A pass-through. A journey completed. State of euphoria? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit. Pure sport. Pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community.
Welcome back to Delta High School. Post-game show, 23-0. Regular season perfection for number one Delta as they win tonight 83-38. They take down Burris in resounding fashion. Players are wearing the special T-shirts. They're cutting down the nets in their own gym, and the crowd all over the floor as photos are being thrown around, taken, and all kinds of good stuff going on. You can hear celebration playing over the PA. It's a great accomplishment, but it's not the one you want. The one you want is a month away. Let's see if they can go all the way and do it. Let's check the scoring quickly. Delta led Burris at the end of a quarter, 23-4. It was 48-19 Delta at halftime. 66-28 Delta after 3, and the finish 83-38 Delta. With the victory, the Eagles improved to 23-0 for the season. They'll build a head of steam, the biggest you can build, going into the sectional next week at Newcastle. Muncie Burris with the loss will go into the state tournament at 5 wins and 17 losses. Delta started all 5 of its seniors here tonight on senior night, and they performed well, and they'll remember this one for an awfully long time. Take another break. Back to check the unofficial individual scoring after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
Everybody loves a good sports movie.
I've seen Rudy 10 times.
I love Hoosiers. If there were a sports movie about steroids, it might be called The Myth, the Truth, and the Consequences. The myth is that steroids are good for your game. The truth? is they're bad for you and the sport you play. And the long-term consequences on your health are downright ugly.
That's one movie I think I'll skip.
High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Delta High School. Mark Detweiler climbing the ladder to cut down the last little bit of the net as Delta celebrates finishing off an unbeaten regular season at 23-0. They win tonight over Burris 83-38. Quick look down the score sheet. Unofficial scoring tonight. I'll go right down the sheet. Wesley Wooden, 10 points. Josh Bryan, 16. These are all unofficial, by the way. Tyler Wilburn, 17. Dalen Case, 4. Nate Sutherland did not score. Zach Garner with 2. Josh Greenberg with 4. Brady Hunt with 10 off the bench. Sam Cox with 4. Connor Bedwell with 9. Grady Foreman got a bucket for 2 points. And I am the mystery man who wore jersey 50, who's not on either roster, at least by number, got a triple in there. So whoever you are, son, congratulations on the triple. We just can't tell anybody who you are except for John Doe. For Muncie Burris, Bracken Carnes with 10, Jackson Adamowitz with 9, Colton Fisher with 2, Grant Jones with 6, Jalen Kring with no points, James Roysden got a bucket for 2, Alex Halley, 7 points, and Max Davis had the other 3 on a late game mop-up crew triple. So, big night for Delta. Biggest you can have outside of winning state. They go 23-0, and they're on their way to the sectional next week. They'll play Yorktown in the opening round, and everybody remembers what happened a few years ago when Yorktown hit a bajillion three-pointers and beat Delta without making a 2-point field goal in the game. Unbelievable. Pretty crazy just how basketball can go sometimes. But that's the way the cookie crumbles and the way the ball bounces. Take another break. Back with more after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. The clutch shot. The timely hit. The perfect pitch. The heroic catch. The brilliant save. The photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Welcome back to the post-game show. Delta polishes off a perfect regular season, beating Muncie Burris 83-58 tonight. I'm Brian Beaver, and I'm joined by the man of the hour, man of the season, Delta's Josh Bryan. Congratulations on a really terrific performance again tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, walk us through this one. Kind of an easy win for you guys, but sometimes those are the hardest ones to get.
Well, tonight was just about the seniors. You know, some of the guys who usually don't get minutes sometimes when we're playing other teams, and it was just about them tonight.
Let's talk about the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of them, but a lot of the other seniors don't play a lot. You and Wilburn play a lot. Case and Wooden and Sutherland don't get out there very often, and they went out there tonight. Wooden had a 10-point game, and boy, that never happens, but they've been your teammates for a long time and classmates. Talk a little bit about what those 4 guys mean to you.
Oh, they're my best friends. You know, us 5, we've grown up playing basketball all our lives. You know, and the thing that sucks is I feel like they would play significant minutes at any other school. We're just really good, and just the fact that they accept that role is just amazing. It just tells people about their character.
When you guys opened the season, what were your goals?
To win a county, to win a conference, and to win a sectional.
You've got 2 out of 3.
Yep.
Now you got a lot of work to do next week.
Yeah, we do. It's gonna be fun. Excited.
Tough field. What do you think of you're gonna play Yorktown?
Yeah.
Not an easy draw. It's a rival game for you.
Oh yeah. You know, a couple years ago they knocked us off when I was a freshman. So you know, we can't underlook anyone. Records don't matter. We're just gonna keep playing like we have been all season. Just take it one game at a time.
As you guys have gotten deeper and deeper into this, and 10-0 became 15-0, and then 20-0, and you got the number 1 in the poll.
Yeah.
Was there any added pressure, or do you guys just tune it all out?
Yeah, we just tune it out. You know, we just like I said, we just go out there and play and take it one game at a time. And we don't care who we play. We're gonna play 110% the way we play. Hard-nosed defense, running in transition with the ball, and getting easy scores.
Your class in 4 years have won 69 games now for this school. You're on the verge of making it 70. You've won about 73% of your games as a player in 4 years. What's it been like to transition to Coach Detweiler and to have more success than any team in your school's history?
You know, Coach Detweiler, you know, he's a great coach and an even better guy to be around. You know, we all love him. I can say that I'd run through a brick wall for the man. I love him. You know, he's a basketball guru. You know, he's smart. He knows what he's doing, and we all listen to him. So, and obviously it showed.
Guys have been great for about 12 weeks now, but I know coaches are never satisfied, and most players are never satisfied. What do you think you guys can do even better when you get into the sectional?
Oh, you can always work on defense. You know, we had a couple breakdowns tonight. They definitely got a couple easy ones, but you can always work on your defense.
You guys can play better defense?
Yep.
Wow. Yep. Well, you've only got 39 quarters where you've held your opponents under 10 all year. So
yep.
Let me seriously ask you about that, because I've told a lot of people this year, as good as you are offensively, you're great. When you guys dial it up, you're great defensively. Is that what you take more pride in, stopping people?
Oh, yeah, you know, that's what Coach takes. That's what Coach wants us to do. You know, we do it. We play defense and we rebound the ball, and that's the difference maker. Especially in tournament play.
Oh, definitely. Hit those free throws, box out a little bit, but play good defense. Let me ask you about one guy on your team who he's unheralded. He never gets any press very often anyway. Zach Garner.
Oh,
he's a bulldog defender. He's Mr. Padlock. I call him Stanley. He's the Padlock.
Yep.
And he doesn't get headlines. He doesn't get a lot of hoopla. But, man, without him, you guys would be a very different team.
Yeah, we would. You know, he's tough. You know, he's the toughest player on our team. And when he's in, our toughness level just goes that much higher. So he's the main aspect of that.
Well, I know the guys want you downstairs. I'm going to let you go. But
right,
thanks for stopping by and see you in the state tournament.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Josh. Josh Bryan, he's the man. He's had a great year, and he ain't done yet, folks. He's going to the big time. Well, hopefully we'll get Coach Detweiler up here. It was nice to talk to Josh Bryan. All he's done all season long is average about 25 points a game. And he's going to go into the state tournament. He only, in quotes, got 16 of them tonight. But, you know, he really did a phenomenal job. And he's, you know, if he's not an Indiana All-Star, he's right on the verge of being one. And I hope he gets a chance to do a couple things like that and top 60 workout and maybe all-state honors, because he really, really deserves it. And so do a lot of the kids down here for Delta. When the All Hoosier Heritage Conference team is announced, it's going to be interesting to see how many Delta Eagles are on it, but I got to believe it's going to be several, because you don't go 7-0 in the league and 23-0 overall, and not have some terrific kids who deserve all kinds of accolades in 2018-19. Martin Detweiler has come up the media row. We're going to get a chance to talk with him in a little while. First, let's again go over the scoring, because you look at Delta. We talked with Josh Bryan about Wesley Wooden in particular. Wes Wooden came into this game averaging 1.4 points per game this season, and tonight he scored 10. Tyler Wilburn, 17. Josh Bryan, 16. Down the sheet, Brady Hunt, 10. Connor Bedwell, 9. So Delta had 4 players in double figures and 1 right on the doorstep. And they really were an overmatch for Burris, to be honest, in this one. And that's no slap at Burris. They just played the number 1 team in the state. And sometimes this is what happens when you run up against a top-level team. You get blown out, and that's what happened tonight in an 83-38 Delta victory. They're playing great. They're hitting on all 8 cylinders, and it's going to be a tough out for anyone playing Delta in the state tournament. But as Josh said, he touched on a moment ago, a couple years back, Delta went to the sectional with 14 wins. Yorktown went with 2. And Yorktown beat Delta in a game where Yorktown made a bunch of threes, a few free throws, and not a single 2-point basket, and won with a 2-win team beating a 14-win team. Ain't about what your resume says. It's about what you do on the floor on game day. And you get a rivalry game right out of the chute between Delta and Yorktown. Anything can happen. 23-0 does not guarantee 24-0 next week. So it's going to be a week of hard work for Delta, I'm sure. And, it's Friday. First games are on Tuesday, so you don't get to practice Sunday. You'll have about 1 prep day. You'll have tomorrow, Saturday, and you'll have Monday. But that's about it to get ready for a team that is your biggest arch rival in the county. Take a timeout. Be back with more after this on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. The clutch shot, the timely hit, the perfect pitch, the heroic catch, the brilliant save, the photo finish. The Indiana High School Athletic Association would like to remind you that the biggest plays in sports matter little if you don't practice sportsmanship. Character counts. Practice sportsmanship. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Everybody loves a good sports movie.
I've seen Rudy 10 times.
I love Hoosiers.
If there were a sports movie about steroids, it might be called The Myth, the Truth, and the Consequences. The myth is that steroids are good for your game. The truth is they're bad for you and the sport you play. And the long-term consequences on your health are downright ugly.
That's one movie I think I'll skip.
High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. This message brought to you by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the post-game show here tonight. A great night for the Delta Eagles as they polish off an unbeaten regular season with an 83-38 victory over Muncie Burris. Mark Detweiler, the head coach here at Delta, has kindly joined us. And first of all, congratulations and take a breather.
Thank you. Yeah, it is nice just to have it done. Our guys executed well tonight. Thought we shared the ball well. We had a ton of assists, and I thought our transition offense was really good. It has been good to us, and got the job done. And it's nice to have it in our hands and have that over with, and obviously enjoy it. And I want them to be in the moment tonight. I want them to enjoy it and appreciate it because it's so rare. And then we'll wake up tomorrow. We got work to do. We got practice at Newcastle tomorrow, so we'll set our sights on what's ahead of us.
Let's walk through this season a little bit. You start out great, and you got better, and you got better, and you got better. I said to Josh, 10-0, turned to 15-0, turned to 20-0. Before you know it, you're playing for 23-0. It's never been done at this school until now.
Right.
What a great feather in your cap.
It is, and it's just nice for them. What an accomplishment, for those kids, and and how they did it. Just because they're easy to root for, and they play together. They are each other's biggest fans. They're just great teammates, and then you also have to have some luck along the way. We've stayed healthy. We've avoided things that sometimes get you during the year, like a flu or something, from somebody, or so we've been able to avoid all that, and so you have to be good, and then you have to have a little bit of luck, and I think we've had a little bit of both.
What makes this team so good?
Obviously we got talent, but just their selflessness. I think that's probably the biggest thing I can say about our senior group. They don't, they just want to win. They're just winners. Doesn't matter what they do, they win, and they want to do it the right way, and they care about each other. I think you see the reaction from our bench throughout the course of the season when somebody does something well. They're on their feet. They bring a lot of energy, and they're cheering for their teammates, and they want for their teammates more than they want for themselves sometimes, and that's a hard thing to do, and it's pretty uncommon.
Your seniors, you're 5 of them. You started tonight. They played a lot of significant minutes. West Wooden had a 10-point night for you.
Right.
But you've been here 2 years, and they've carried a lot of the lumber for you for 2 years, and they've won for you 41 times already.
Yeah.
This is a lot about not just their talent, but their toughness and their work ethic.
Right.
And sometimes coaches are tough to satisfy, but so are great players. Great players want to win all the time.
Right.
They hate losing.
Right. Yeah.
That's your guys.
And it is. It describes their personalities. That's why, they're great students. They win in other sports, so again, they understand work ethic and what it means. If you're going to do something, I'm going to do it right. That's, again, that doesn't happen, with every team, with the number of guys that we have that with, but they they, like I said, the one thing that really does separate them is the fact that they really, truly do care about each other, and they want each other to succeed. And so that in itself is enjoyable as a coach. And those are the life lessons that they'll take with them forever, that they'll take from basketball and serve them well.
Turn your attention now to the postseason. And the only thing better than being 23-0 would be 30-0, and that would give you a state championship. But you got a long, hard road.
Right.
A lot of other teams and a lot of quality 3A teams. But your top dog, you're going into the state tournament with a big head of steam and a big target on your back and an arch rival facing you on
Absolutely,
Tuesday.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And Yorktown's very familiar with us. We're familiar with them, and so they'll bring it. I mean, you get in a tournament. You got to be ready for anything, and so we got to make sure we do our work, and then we're ready for Tuesday night.
Is it better to be the hunter or the hunted?
Oh my gosh, I would certainly much rather be the hunted. And so as long as you stay hungry, and our guys I've never battled that with them. But yeah, I certainly I'll take this position to worry in above any other.
I think you're going to enjoy this. I said to Josh Bryan when we talked to him, well, what can you do better right now? And he said, defense. We can play better defense. I know that must make you happy because you guys have really been, I think, all season long, even better on defense than you are offensively. And you score
as much as people talk about our offense, and it is special, we guard, and we guard really well. And so they've invested that. And if you're going to win championships, it's going to be on that end.
Zach Garner. Zach Garner is unheralded, doesn't stuff the stat sheet. All he does is make a lot of other players unhappy for a lot of the game.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about him. He's a former quarterback on the football team, a Bulldog competitor.
Yeah.
And I know many times this year you've said to him, hey, we want you on X, and we want you to shut him off like tap water, and he does.
He does. He's one of the best on-ball defenders this side of the state. Show me 2 or 3 guys better. That are able to play an entire game with the focus and the motor that he plays. There's not very many. And so I'd take him above anybody.
Well, I appreciate you coming up, spending so much time with all of us up here on Media Row. It's been a great ride covering you so far.
Thank you.
It's nowhere near being over.
I hope so. I hope we can keep it going.
Well, I think you're going to, and it's going to be fun to watch. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Mark Detweiler, he's the head coach here of the Delta Eagles, and they are going into the state tournament 23-0. And I wouldn't want to play them, not for any amount of tea in China. So that's going to do it. We're going to wrap it up tonight by bringing you the last look at the line score. Delta over Burris, 23-4 in the first, 48-19 at half, 66-28 in the third, and at the end of regulation, 83-38. Delta with 2 more of those deadly single-digit defensive quarters, holding Burris to 4 in the first and just 9 in the third. Lockdown defense, Padlock City, by a really, really good basketball team. That's going to do it for tonight. Keep your eyes on my Twitter feed next week. We'll announce our sectional broadcast plans on Twitter. You can follow me at Delco Preps, and we'll keep you posted on what's going to come down the pike here on the Delco Preps channel in the state tournament, at least in the first round, as teams head for sectional play starting on Tuesday. It's going to be fantastic. 400 teams exactly this year in the state tournament, and all but 4 are leaving unhappy, and 4 are cutting down the nets at Bankers Life. For all of us at Beaver Media, I'm Brian Beaver. Thanks for joining us tonight. Come back again next week, sectional basketball. We'll let you know in a few days who it's going to be. For all of us at Beaver Media, I'm Brian Beaver. We appreciate your ears. Thanks so much for joining us and supporting our coverage of high school sports. Until next time, have a great rest of your weekend, and so long, everybody.